The pounding on our front door hit like a sudden storm, so fierce it rattled the windows and sent my coffee splattering across my shirt. My heart lurched, half expecting a tree had crashed through the roof or some thug was breaking in. I bolted from the breakfast table where my wife, Lena, sat, cool as ever. Her Navy commander training kept her steady in chaos, a calm that always reminded me I was just a civilian in her world. Before I could wipe the coffee off my hands, the pounding came again, louder, angrier, like someone thought they could smash their way in. Our kids, still in pajamas, peeked from behind the kitchen counter, eyes wide with fear. I rushed to the peephole, bracing for firefighters or cops. Instead, 3 hulking men in tacky black polos, emblazoned with HOA security, in gaudy gold letters, loomed on our porch. They clutched a clipboard and a notice, their stances screaming trouble, not a friendly chat. I cracked the door just enough to speak, forcing calm into my voice. "Can I help you?" The biggest guy, built like he lifted weights and ate pizzas whole, shoved the clipboard at me. "Evict tie-in notice. You're out today. Unauthorized structure. Violation of Code 14A. 1 hour to vacate, or we drag you out." I blinked, stunned. "Evict tie-in? We owned this house outright, no mortgage, no debts. Unauthorized structure? The only thing we built was a treehouse for the kids, a simple wooden platform nestled in the backyard oaks." Before I could protest, another barked. "Clock's ticking. Don't make this ugly." Lena rose from the table, her steps deliberate, like she was walking into a war room. She nudged me aside, swung the door wide, and stepped onto the porch. The men straightened instinctively, sensing her presence. No uniform needed. Lena carried command in her posture, her steel-gray eyes locking onto them like a targeting system. "State your legal authority to Evict without a court order," she said, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. The leader faltered, muttering, "HOA authority," trying to puff himself up. "Not enough," Lena snapped. "Evict tie-in requires a judicial process and sworn officers. Are you sworn?" They shifted uncomfortably, one staring at his boots, another mumbling about being security contractors. Lena took a step forward, her voice dropping to a dangerous calm. "You're trespassing, committing harassment, and attempting unlawful entry under state law. Leave now." They'd expected a pushover, not a Navy commander who'd stared down worse in combat zones. But the leader sneered, refusing to back down. "Pack up, lady, or this gets worse." Lena's head tilted, a glint in her eyes that I'd seen only once before when she was about to end something. 10 seconds to leave, or I initiate a citizen's arrest." They hesitated, glancing at each other, misjudging their odds 3 against 1. The boldest lunged, grabbing her arm. In a blur, Lena twisted his wrist, flipped him face down onto the porch, and planted her knee in his back. The others froze, hands half raised, one yelling, "Hey, don't hurt him!" Lena, calm as ever, kept him pinned. "Assaulting a resident is a felony. Call your supervisor. Charges are pending." I grabbed my phone, dialing the sheriff, my voice steady despite my racing pulse. "Reporting an attempted unlawful Evict tie-in and assault. Suspect detained." More HOA vans screeched up, 2 more polo-clad goons stepping out, looking confused. Now 5 of them loitered on our lawn, muttering, as neighbors peeked from windows, some filming. Lena stood, Leah the pinned guy groaning, and faced the group. "Vacate now, or you'll be detained until deputies arrive." Sirens wailed, growing louder. The thugs grabbed their buddy and bolted like rats, piling into their vans. Lena watched, arms crossed, a general overseeing a rout. I stood in the doorway, coffee-soaked, marveling at how the HOA had just picked a fight they'd never win out with Lena in charge. As the first sheriff's cruiser screeched to a stop, the lead thug waved a paper, shouting, "We have grounds!" His voice cracked, pathetic against the 6 deputies spilling from 3 cruisers. The lead deputy, a no-nonsense woman with mirrored shades, ignored him and approached Lena. "Ma'am, you reported the Evict tie-in attempt?" Lena handed over her military ID, earning a raised eyebrow. "Commander, explain what happened." Lena recounted the incident: unauthorized EVY tie-in, assault, threats with the precision of a mission report. The deputies corralled the HOA men, ordering hands vy Cybele. One rambled about emergency protocols, another flashed the fake notice. The deputy shook her head. "No court stamp, no power." Inside, I reassured the kids huddled by the window. Our daughter whispered, "Mom's a badass." I grinned, nodding. Outside, the deputy listed charges: attempted EVY tie-in, harassment, trespassing, assault. One thug bolted, making it 3 steps before a deputy tackled him, cuffs snapping shut. The leader gaped, still thinking he could talk his way out. Lena leaned toward the deputy, mentioning prior HOA harassment, bogus fines, threatening letters, all documented. The deputy's eyes widened, radioing her super vy soar. This was bigger than a local dispute. A black SUV with government plates rolled up. A state attorney general's agent, badge gleaming, approached Lena. "Commander, we're investigating HOA abuses statewide." "Got documentation?" Lena produced a flash drive: recordings, fake citations, threats prepared for war. The agent nodded, promising a swift review. The irony was brutal. The HOA's intimidation had triggered a federal probe. Their vans were towed as EVY denke, and neighbors cheered as the last thug was driven away. A woman from down the street, trembling, thanked Lena, admitting she'd faced similar threats but feared fighting back. Lena's response was simple: "No one should fear their home." Exhausted, I sagged against the doorframe. Lena cracked a rare smile. "Need a new doormat. No goons allowed." I laughed, the tension easing. We hugged the kids, who babbled about Lena's heroics. The house felt safe again, but we knew the HOA's leaders wouldn't quit. The real fight was coming. The next morning, the neighborhood buzzed. Neighbors left notes on our mailbox, thanking us for defying the HOA's tyranny. Lena, in mission mode, spread HOA documents across the dining table, highlighting fake violations and forged codes. One letter, from the HOA president, Marcus Kane, cited a non-existent future development compliance rule, hinting at property seizures for a lucrative land deal. It hit me, this wasn't about our treehouse. They wanted to force families out to clear the neighborhood for profit. Lena called her JAG contact, who connected us to a federal fraud investigator. "They're building a case," she said. "We hold the line." A black SUV pulled up. Marcus himself, short and slick-haired in a too-tight polo, with 2 jittery board members. He used false charm. Lena opened the door, forcing him to stay on the walkway. "Misunderstanding," he said, smiling. "Let's resolve this neighborly." Lena's voice was ice. "You sent thugs to threaten my family, forged documents, and now want to chat?" His smile wavered. "No harm done, right?" Lena pointed to a blinking body cam on her shirt. "This is recorded. Direct further communication through our lawyer. 30 seconds to leave." One board member fled. Marcus stammered, then sped off, tires screeching. Lena's smirk said she was 10 steps ahead. We hired Sarah Vega, an HOA abuse lawyer thrilled to dismantle corruption. She suggested a class action suit if neighbors joined. I canvassed the street, stunned by stories, hidden fines, fake liens, thousands paid to avoid sham hearings. An elderly couple showed me threatening letters. Another neighbor had paid compliance fees to avoid EVY tie-in. The HOA, under Marcus's lead, ran a mafia-style racket. By evening, 12 families formed a coalition, fueled by Lena's resolve. We hosted a backyard meeting under string lights. Lena briefed the group like a battlefield commander. "Document threats, gather EVY denke, stay united." Neighbors, young parents, veterans, retirees found courage in her words. We weren't just SAVYing our homes, we were reclaiming our community. The next 48 hours were a whirlwind. Federal agents, disguised as utility workers, set up a base nearby, interviewing residents and tracking Marcus's moves. Lena coordinated with them, her tactical precision keeping us steady. Evy denke piled up, secret accounts, contractor kickbacks, fake contracts, fines funneled to personal expenses. Marcus targeted vulnerable families, elderly, deployed military, single parents betting they wouldn't fight. A board member, facing prison, flipped, handing over emails and a recording of Marcus bragging about the land deal. Neighbors reported late-night HOA meetings, cars speeding from Marcus's house, one board member shredding documents. Lena fed every detail to the feds. Then the HOA retaliated. During dinner, a rock crashed through our window, glass spraying. The kids screamed. I pulled them to safety. Lena threw open the door, scanning the street as a car sped off. She blamed herself, but the feds caught it on camera. Deputies dusted the rock for prints, a veteran deputy reassuring Lena. They just made it worse for themselves. At dawn, agents stormed Marcus's house. Neighbors watched, filming as officers hauled out computers and files. Marcus, handcuffed, spotted Lena on our porch and paled. Half the board was arrested: fraud, racketeering, conspiracy, intimidation. Assets were frozen, cars towed, accounts seized. At a park meeting, Lena spoke of unity against corruption, earning a standing ovation. The neighborhood voted to dissolve the HOA. The land deal collapsed. The seized land became a community park, named for a harassed elderly couple. Lena cut the ribbon, kids pinning her with paper medals. Life normalized, kids biked freely, neighbors chatted openly. Our backyard became a gathering spot, the treehouse now. Commander's Fort. Expanded by community hands. Without the HOA, disputes were settled with kindness, mowing a neighbor's lawn, fixing a fence. Marcus got 12 years. His cronies took pleas. The park thrived, a symbol of our win. One night, on our porch swing, I asked Lena if she missed the Navy. Sometimes, she said, leaning into me. But protecting this our home, our neighbors, that's my mission now. Under the stars, with kids' laughter echoing from the park, we savored peace. The HOA thought they could break us. They forgot who they were fighting: a commander, a community, an unbreakable spirit.